What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. We're gonna go ahead and do something different today. You know, we're trying different things out. I think this is very interesting myself, right? This video is from 1967, and it's called "Mom Puts Teenage Acid Head in a Mental Hospital in 1967." I saw about 2 or 3 minutes of it. It's an 8-minute video, so this may wind up being 20 with me, you know. But let's get right into it.
You like LSD?
Yes.
And why?
Well, because for one, it teaches me a lot about myself that I didn't know.
That right there, nobody, you know, and I just snapped. This video is going to get demonetized. But, you know, that thing that he just said he enjoys doing, to the natives, it was used in ceremonies, and it does teach you things. Mike Tyson has said that that's where he found his peace, was through the hallucinogenics. I would recommend nobody does any drugs. Make that clear. But these hallucinogens have been used by natives for centuries, and they're part of the medicine and used in a lot of religious ceremonies, or at least I don't want to say religious ceremonies, but they've been used forever.
And it kind of informs me about my environment and what goes on.
What does it tell you about yourself?
Tells me what I like.
What do you like?
Well, I can't really explain what I like.
It's hard to explain. You see, you've had an experience that I haven't had, and I'm trying to find out what your experience is like, what it does for you, what it feels like.
Well, it makes everything a little unreal, you know. Everything that is hallucinations project from my mind, and everything that I see is myself. I mean, it's all coming from my mind, and all the things that I see, everything that I see is I'm making it all.
That's a trip, right? But it's a trip too, how, you know, I guess his mom just was trying to help him, but this kid's clean. He's well spoken. He's obviously intelligent. It's you know, you look at what these modern drugs are doing to people. Drugs like meth and obviously fentanyl. I mean, killing people or making people insane. And then you got this kid where, yeah, he shouldn't be experimenting maybe, but I mean, he's doesn't look like a bad kid at all. And it seems like he's gaining knowledge and a lot of self-awareness.
You're controlling everything.
Yes, I'm controlling what the scenery looks like about me. I'm not controlling it necessarily, but when it's happening, that's what's me. That's me happening.
How about people? Do you think that before you used the drug, you were afraid of people?
Well, I didn't know it at the time, but I realized that I was when I took the drug. Because it brings out your inner feelings more intensely.
And why do you think you were afraid of them before?
Because I didn't know them.
And he didn't know himself. Me, I've never done any hallucinogens. Didn't want to, because people would say, yeah, you know, however you're feeling when you take it, you know, that's gonna dictate your the trip you go on. And some people have bad trips. I was like, nope, not gonna do it. Never have. But it sounds like a trip.
Do you feel that you do know them through the drug?
No, I don't feel that I know them, but I'm not afraid of being rejected by them. Because I don't feel any rejection towards them. I used to be constantly thinking about being afraid of them, but now I don't have to be afraid anymore, because they're all beautiful, and whether they reject me or not, they're still beautiful.
Wow.
Does it ever seem to you that this may be a little unreal?
Oh, yes. But I mean, after you learn this on an acid trip, you practice it when you're straight too.
Yeah, I mean,
It doesn't leave you.
If everybody is beautiful, then there's no one who's, say, dangerous to you.
Oh, but the dangerous people are beautiful too. They're dangerous, sure, but they're still beautiful.
Why are you here?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll try to break it down in short. I found God, and I made me feel quite good, you know, and my mother mistook this good feeling for taking drugs, and I was getting kind of wayward and everything. I mean, I wasn't coming home on time, so she phoned the police, and I was brought to YGC, and then I was brought here.
So, like I said earlier, mom's just trying to take care of her kid, worried about her kid. And that's the thing about drugs. Even though he's learning a lot about himself and learning compassion and learning confidence, when you pick up a habit, when something becomes a habit, you know, even having a habit that is so-called a good thing, it can have a very negative result. You know, once you get hooked on doing something, other things in your life are going to start lacking. You know, you're going to not you're not going to give it the attention you once did. And that could be a relationship, a friendship, your job, whatever.
Because of my talking about God and everything, they might have thought that I was a little crazy.
Do you think you are?
No. But I understand how they felt because I wasn't making myself clear on it. It's very hard to... I was trying to express something that was hard to express, and I wasn't really capable of expressing it. I mean, I can have the relationship between myself and God, but it's a mistake to try to make other people feel the way I did, and that's what I was trying to do.
What's God like?
Well, first of all, God is everything, so he is like everything. He is everything. There's nothing that he isn't like.
Is he like a man?
I don't know. Everything, he lives in everything. Everything on this earth.
I can't describe to you the feeling that it gives you when your son says to you, can't you feel it? God is everywhere. I'm going with God. I'm waiting for God to come and get me. It isn't a happy thing at all or an insight. It's a death wish. And I tried talking sense to him. I said, Jimmy, you don't see God till you die. But he couldn't see that at all. He believed that he was seeing him right now.
And maybe he was. You know, they say that we only use, 3% of our brain, 7%, whatever it is. It's under 10% of our brain, right? And so, you know, what we're capable of is like, who knows, right? Because we can't tap into it. We don't know how. But I always believe this thing. When you see these kids and they have an imaginary friend, what do the parents do? What are the tias and the tios, the aunts and uncles, the mom and dad? What do? Don't do that. Don't do that. There's nobody there. How do we know that? You know, it's like when sometimes you see a baby in the crib and they're crying, and then you'll see them like look off to the side and they'll smile. And some kids see things that we can't see because there's a part of their brain that is functioning probably that doesn't function for us because it was shut down in us. And what do? We turn around and we shut it down in those kids. So, I mean, somebody tells me they met God. Okay, cool. I'm not necessarily going to think they're crazy unless they show me otherwise, right? I'm going to have to have a little deeper conversation with them. But this kid doesn't seem crazy. He definitely engaged with something, and it was something good.
Jim hasn't adjusted well to school. He's an extremely introverted boy, or has been up until lately. Shy. He wouldn't try. The least sign of failure to him meant an automatic stop right now. And
That's like, it just seems like a lack of confidence. And now he's gaining confidence and he's being told he's crazy. I don't know. Hopefully, I wonder if there was ever a follow-up with Jimmy. A 10 year or 20 year later, where is Jimmy? Who is Jimmy? Let's find Jimmy. This is in 67, so, he might, he's only 7 years older than me, so he should still be around. That would be a trip if he's around to see how he turned out.
I think that the problems that he had were magnified and triggered by the release that he seemed to find in drugs. And I feel as though that this is, many of the children today are doing this type of thing, and if it could be stressed that this is a medical problem and not a criminal problem, I believe that parents would be on the telephone calling somebody as soon as they found illegal.
As I'm listening to this woman talk and, she's concerned for her child, I get it. Imagine if this woman could have been teleported, transported through time or somehow, some way, see what her town looks like now, wherever she's at. See what this country looks like now. See what addiction looks like now. See what the drugs that kids are using now look like and what effects they have. She would understand her kid ain't that bad. He's experimenting. It's unfortunate, but when you have a kid that is learning how to build confidence, unfortunately through that, and then you're trying to shut him down, then he's gonna rebel. What happens then is you're not having the conversation with your son. To him, it's punishment. So what do you think he's gonna do next? He's gonna still go and get his thing, and he's gonna hide it. And he's gonna know, no matter how good he feels, it makes him feel or whatever, don't tell mom. Don't tell dad. Don't tell nobody. Be in the shadows with it. And that's, I think, when things get worse.
Material around the house, which they don't do now because they're afraid they're sending their sons and daughters to jail.
There is a steady flow into San Francisco hospitals of young people who have freaked out and been picked up by the police in a state of desperate terror.
Where are you taking me? Where are my friends? Do my friends know I'm here? Where am I?
Bad trip.
Where am I?
You're in the hospital here. Come on.
Who are you?
I'm Dr. Vixen.
The bad trip is a frightening thing to witness. It must be far more terrifying to experience.
Where are you taking me? Where am
You're
I?
right around here to the desk. You're in the hospital.
Who are you? Hello, I'm a nurse. What's your name?
Your hands are cold.
What's your name?
Joan.
Joan. I'm a nurse. Gus?
I don't want to be here. Where am I?
Yeah, I don't think we want to see that. I think we saw enough already. Plus, I wonder if this is just acting, this part, if it's bad acting. But we'll go ahead and see what YouTube has to say about me trying to publish this. If you see it, that means they let me. It may be copyrighted. I don't know yet. But they may also, when I do, one of the reasons why I stopped doing Soft White Underbelly, I think I got reported by, but more than that, whenever I do a video, I react to one of their videos, it says that I'm promoting recreational drug use. I've never promoted that ever in any video. These people come and they have an addiction. They have a story that goes with it. And I'm reacting to that. I'm having fun with it if I can. If not, we're being serious about it when we have to be. But we have to go by the guidelines that they set. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to see this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.